One dude, a laptop, a phone, a few people that watch him. And the truth? Not sure. We'll figure it out. We're trying to get to the truth over here. Artist Journal, November 21st, 2022, Berlin. My name is Adrian Pocobelli. Broadcasting around the world. Not live, but we may go live at some point. Maybe once a week or something. Replace the Wednesday show with the Spaces. That is the thought. Let's see. It's a quick show note. I go away in a week to London, actually for a couple of days, and then I go to Canada for a week and a half. So I'm going to be I'm not sure how that's going to work because I use two monitors here. So I may just take it off, but I think I'll sprinkle in Twitter Spaces in there, maybe once a week, maybe more. I don't know, because I need to visit my family. I haven't seen my parents in like 3 years, so that is kind of the top priority. But whatever, make art in the meantime when you might watch this show, and we'll do Twitter Spaces maybe, or something like that. We'll change it up. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Look at this beautiful work by Rare Force One. A pastiche, I believe is the term. This is based on an older work as Rare Force One explained. Sir Edwin Henry Landseer's painting. It's after his painting titled Alpine Mastiffs Reanimated a Distressed Traveler, which is from 1820. And I have the painting here. So you see here, I actually like Rare Force One's version a little better, but of course, Henry Landseer created the composition. It's at the the National Gallery in Washington, D.C. I was on the website. I was trying to figure out which country. And so anyways, it is in Washington. And so there is the original. And remember we were talking about oil paintings, how there's that brown. This is like academic painting to a certain degree. And I'm not using the term pejoratively. Like in a sense, when you see this brown kind of background, that is like your underpainting, and then you start to build up. It actually makes painting a lot easier in a lot of ways, and then when you're putting on the white, it looks great, and the mountains, see that you let the brown shine through a little bit, and that is how, and probably even doing the dogs, like some of this could be the underpainting, some of these darker areas, that just kind of let it shine through. Anyways, Rare Force One with a really cool work. I like it for several reasons, and first of all, the contrast is stronger. It's one of the issues with a lot of these 17th and 18th century paintings are the browns can actually feel kind of dull, and like it's not. I remember the Paul Getty and the Getty in L.A. has a ton of these like 17th, 18th, 19th century paintings, room after room. I was surprised at how like that stuff kind of puts me to sleep, So anyways, which is kind of funny about this is I kind of like the new one better. But of course, Rare Force One did not come up with this brilliant composition and concept. So very cool, though. I do like Rare Force One's concept, and it feels like a window into the future a little bit. Couldn't you just imagine it being like this? So really nice digital painting. Flew off the shelf, posted 2 days ago at 10:54 p.m., and transferred to Anonymous 20 minutes later. So who knows how much that went for. Very cool work. And again, there's the original. So pastiche, I believe is what this is called. A pastiche is a work of visual art, literature, theater, music, or architecture that imitates the style or character of the work of one or more other artists. Unlike parody, pastiche pays homage to the work it imitates rather than mocking it. So pastiche. I believe we could call that pastiche. If you know better, please leave a comment. And speaking of which, so we got a few comments here. This was funny. Santiago Hasdrubal Waffle is my favorite artist in the whole NFT scene. And let me just quickly bring up Hasdrubal. Surely there is only one Hasdrubal. Yeah, so remember, this is the artist with the sweaters. So I found that really interesting. I was like, I kind of surprised to hear that, so interesting. I mean, totally original artist. There's nothing quite like it, I think I was saying last time. So very interesting, Santiago. Great to hear from you. And Steel Force 13, was wondering basically how the whole blockchain NFT thing, like how does it work? After I create one, how do you add it onto there or any platforms? So basically you need a wallet, okay? And there are two main blockchains you need to worry about, which is Ethereum and Tezos. And it would take too long in a sense, but if you YouTube it, basically the principle is the wallet is your Gmail account that you're logging in with. You know, when you see log in with Facebook or log in with Gmail, think of log in with MetaMask if you're on the Ethereum blockchain, or on the Tezos blockchain when you're logging into object.com, which I have in this article here. Then you'd use the Kukai wallet, this wallet here, and you would hit sync up here. So the key thing for you to do first, you have MetaMask, then try and log in to OpenSea, OpenSea.io. That would be your first task. And if you want, get a Kukai wallet and try and log in to object.com, this website right here, okay? And start with that. And then basically what you do after that is you Binance or Coinbase, get an account there, and you have to send a little bit of Ethereum to MetaMask or a little bit of Tezos to your Kukai wallet. So start with that. And once you get there, feel free to leave a comment. I actually just published this. This is an old article that I was just sitting on that I put in my friend's little newspaper, International Paneling, and how to become an NFT collector before it's too late. So I will try and remember to link this in the comments. In the description. Otherwise, you can find it in the description of the video, my Medium. Just go to my Medium and it'll be published today. I dug it up and published it just for you, okay? And there are some deeper debates on AI, which we're discussing AI and developing unique styles and how, the barriers to entry. So this generated some comments, which I want to return to, but we simply look at how many tabs we have to get through. So I'm going to kind of keep these on file here. And when we come back to AI, maybe we reopen up these comments. Continuing on, speaking of AI, when you understand that this Charles AI, when you understand that AI is going to be bigger than the Industrial Revolution, it makes total sense to collect AI art early on, as it will become culturally significant and mainstream worldwide. Yeah, interesting thoughts from Charles AI, who again is doing very well. So I think just an interesting, provocative thought. Yeah, is this AI art going to be worth anything? I have a feeling a few of them are going to be worth something. And just on the AI front, that seems to be what's in the air right now. Although the Zeitgeist, we're going to see, it's a little troubling right now what we're seeing in the arts. We'll get to that. Midjourney feels more DALL-E than DALL-E. Feels more DALL-E than DALL-E, and I'm starting to get really down. So that's Robness V2, and look at this work he just posted. So back to the AI fashion. So pretty nice. This kind of pixelated boot. Again, just stuff you'd never imagine doing, and you could sell this. I'm sure you put this in a store window, everybody would turn their head. And it's not like Robness V2 went to, as far as I understand, it's not like he studied fashion for 20 years in Paris and then came up with this brilliant boot. So AI and fashion, again, we've been talking about it over and over, and Strange Thing has been on that, how it's going to turn fashion upside down, as we keep saying. Also AI, ClownVamp, Stable Diffusion Geeks, which is a major tool for AI. I realize that this isn't as common knowledge as I thought. If you're not using SD Upscale, prepare to have your mind blown. Upscales then breaks up your image into tiles and reruns it through SD to give you incredible detail. So just kind of an interesting thing, and he links to this thread here. Upscale to huge sizes and detail with SD Upscale, and it tells you how. So you can find that on ClownVamp's feed. And just another post by ClownVamp, the MoMA lobby is literally a piece of AI art right now, and we showed that the other day, I believe. I was seeing on the weekend on Instagram, there were some people who were doing live feeds, and it's kind of an interesting piece they decided to go with there. I think they got the artist, they basically commissioned the artist, because I would almost rather, and it was all moving, and maybe you've seen it. We don't have time to go into it, but I'd almost rather see a strange thing there or something, or just like some fantastic AI work like that. So anyways, that's just me. And then finally on this kind of mass adoption sort of thing, we also talked about Polygon, NFTs. NFT God, Elon is working on a crypto wallet for Twitter. CZ invested $500 million. The writing is on the wall. Crypto and NFTs are coming to Twitter in a big way. All 350 million users will be in the Web3 ecosystem in 2 years. So who knows? Apparently I was looking in the comments, someone actually asked Elon Musk about crypto wallets and Twitter, and he said nothing right now. So who knows, but just kind of interesting to talk about. And finally, on the Polygon NFT front, Starbucks NFTs, which I haven't mentioned yet, and you've probably heard of already, they're working on a NFT collection that they're going to launch by the end of the year, so within the next 6 weeks. So very interesting. So moving into works, Mason the Third, I missed this. Some of you did see this, because I saw some of you collected it. ROM corruption on point-and-click PlayStation 1. So Mason the Third, really likes to push the limits of ROM corruption, and I love it. There's a ton going on here. So nothing quite like it, frankly. So just a heads up on that one. How many edition of 40, and already sold out, was selling for 2. Now you can buy it for 6. Got it. More just kind of, you're going to see this show. I mean, it's saying something about the Zeitgeist, the spirit of the times, coming into being. The struggle with the search for the ray of light that provides a cast to the lower depths. Just a really interesting, pixelated, kind of abstract, half representational. Never seen anything like it. Edition of 25, selling for $21.12. Anyo Asano is the artist. And you can see here some of Anyo Asano's work. So that was definitely a standout piece, I would say. But what I see here is a ton of experimentation. Okay? Like, look at that. Yeah, so very interesting artist, which I hadn't heard of. Let me just make sure I am following. Anya Asano. Okay, and another artist that maybe a lot of you have seen, Nifty Monkey, but that I didn't really know about. So just another kind of a crazy pixel artwork here. And just nice combination of keeping still areas, and then you see the areas that are moving. So nice just combination of pattern and dynamism. Unspoken, It's Been Forever from Nifty Monkey. And you can see Nifty Monkey has done all sorts of experimentation. So I've never seen them before. Pretty interesting. And continuing on, so just a lot of manicness out there, I want to say. Luis Ponce, GM, and I hadn't heard of Luis Ponce either. There's a lot of manicness out there. I mean, so, and then this is, it's a lot to take in here. I'm not going to stay here for too long. This is their Tezos. They're also on Super Rare, and it's crazy, the market. I'm not going to stay here too long, but offers of 1,500 Tezos here for this work. So pretty wild, which is not being taken. So I have never heard of this person, Luis Ponce, but that person is doing very well. More just kind of wild pixel art here. Restart, after a hard day, we need a restart. Spectrum collection, nostalgic colors, reminiscent of 8-bit games. So another just kind of mysterious pixel artwork here. Pretty cool. 15 Tezos, edition of 15. Bridget, New York City. One available. I also missed this, which probably a lot of you guys saw. Nicholas Sassoon, and I think he's out of Canada. iPhone 5C. This is for the RIP Hen event. So just looks like kind of a bitmap filter, one on and off filter of a iPhone 5C that is rotating. So nice simple concept. Nice work from Sabato. So first he minted this on, I think, exchange.art, and nobody took it, and I just slept. Otherwise, I would have bought it, and I could have got it for 2 Tezos 101. Sorry, 2 Sol. But then he put it up the next day, and I think we showed it. Then he put up the soft serve the next day on Tezos and sold them all, 33 of them for like 5 Tezos each and made $150 more. It's 165. So this is the next in the series, the Chrome period. And this is, as he says, D-Paint is the software he uses for this series, which is like a retro Amiga software, so kind of on an emulator. And Sony Trinitron CRTs are that for video artists. So he's referring to this TV here, the Sony CRT monitor. And so a very cool work went out before I went to sleep, even a reference to soccer here in the World Cup. And so anyway, it's just nice to see the drawings are back that Sabato was working on. I think they're a huge hit. And I love just the flashing of the screen and everything. All 33 sold out right away. So very cool. New work from Cap'n, Mental Noise, very cheap right now, $222. And again, combining sort of these static and dynamic pixels seems to be going in a bit of an abstract direction, which is interesting. Mental Noise, Information Detox. It's kind of like the theme of the work that we're going to see here. Like already, like there's a manicness to the work. Native Ed. It feels very much like late 2022, doesn't it? The 24 by 24 pixel run, a collaboration by Native Ed and TTTVVV Vision Room. And so you get this as an airdrop token appreciation, I guess, if you picked up other work. So pretty cool. Again, playing with figures again. So moving into the representational area, world. And I thought this was a very interesting piece by Dan Control. I just like the experimentation here. I mean, it's kind of like, didn't Freak in Hell, or was it, no, it was Trésor Rodanx had this, I think he was calling it digital impressionism or digital expressionism. This kind of has that too, doesn't it? Like, just like you look up in the sky and then you look back, and like what I think my favorite part of this is how the sun, first of all, it's not even yellow. It's kind of greenish. It's yellow-green. And how I like how it's not circular at all, even though it's probably behind this square, this outrageous square cloud and this outrageous vertical cloud. There's an outrageousness to this representation of a sunny day here that I like. So very cool. This is someone, I think it's Cheeto Kun, who uses Go. Like you can see these are little Go tokens. This also looks like a gas station. I can't read. Maybe Yaoko of Hano is gone. So this is drawn with like, it's kind of like pixelation, but it's using Go. And you can see it here. Okay, it's like the Go game and using that to draw. So kind of interesting take on what you might call, it's like round pixelation. And here's another work, Stray Cat by Shoichi Seki. I can't tell if they're the same artist or not. But anyways, pretty cool work. I also like these little lines that are underneath. So buy it for 100. Is this an edition of 1? It looks like it. Not sure though. So double check on that. Nice piece. And a work in progress from Louis Osborne. I would predict this is a super rare work because, again, this looks kind of ambitious in its composition. Again, it reminds me of that other super rare work that I was like falling over myself with, which just looked extremely good, which didn't go for as much as his other works. This kind of has that spirit to it, in my opinion. And if you're wondering what this went for, it went for 345 Tezos, this one of one, this person 7. We looked at this a couple of times. So 345 Tezos, not much of an auction war. There's a couple of bids, that's it. So not really a big battle there at the end. Hadi Nico, an artist I've never seen before, was just kind of a cool cat illustration work that I saw on Twitter. So heads up, just kind of interesting. And this was also interesting from Heel Monster. Something will appear in the next week, so enjoy your weekend, friends. So again, not even sure if this is generative art or what this is, but I think just kind of a head-turning work. So I feature it here. And EdgeQ with a new work. This is a one of one at auction. It's only 12 Tezos. He's working with AI here. And welcome to the imaginary game. I got a hold of a time machine, can't say now. The first person I wanted to see is Dali. And so anyways, playing with the trading cards and the K-scene, put Salvador Dali on the title here. Center, Salvador Dali. So very cool. And I thought actually I've never seen a portrait of Salvador Dali like this. I almost think Dali would like this portrait because it's kind of an outrageous portrait. Again, more outrageousness to accompany the manicness that we see in the art in this episode. So anyways, just interesting portrait. You can still get it at auction. It's only 12 Tezos, so pretty cheap, one of one. Morlakos has released his Rare Pepe, the wood frame. So very cool. Trademark Ladder in the Clouds with the medieval theme and Pepe. So it looks like a pretty ambitious work, actually, in the cool frame and everything. And this is where you go, dankset.io. I'll have to click on that. More kind of just a little bit of disturbing vibes in the Zeitgeist. Welcome to Bubblegum. And this is by Board Me Social Club. So, yeah, again, pitchfork and a noose with a weird winter coat. Yeah, not sure what to make of that. $350 was the mint price and sold out basically within 20 minutes. So people are eating it up. Welcome, very dark work. And this is also a dark work by Elna Frederick. And this is kind of, I think we've looked at her work before. This is kind of classic in her style, which is these flashing kind of infinite images. So yeah, kind of more disturbing work. I'm thinking to myself when I look at this stuff, because this is all like basically this weekend for the most part. What's in the Zeitgeist, guys? Like, Kill Your Masters. This is an interesting collaboration with Elby and Fake Whale Cross, so they put out an edition. No Gods, No Masters. Sounds like Rat Cloaks. What is it? Anyways, No Gods, No Masters gift collage made on After Effects post-processed. Okay, so In Control, Kill Your Masters. What's going on out there? So Dextier, thankfully, has this very kind of soothing work of a couple on a bridge, a nice romantic evening. So thank you, Dextier, for lightening up the vibe here. Nobody's buying this. I missed this auction. I think it's a social media issue, not an art issue here, because I would have picked this up for 10 Tezos for a one-of-one Dextier. People buy his work for like 3 Tezos, and they're editions of 20. And this is just a cool edition that you maybe have or haven't seen, but if you haven't, one don't knows, or I don't knows, he's had this Inception work, and anyways, it sold out. So he raised, I think, what is that, 2 ETH. I think. So just the color is awesome on this and his trademark style. And this is a manifold XYZ. So that's on Ethereum to our, I think it was Steelforce who was asking how things set up. So you would need MetaMask to create your manifold contract. Okay. Now that's very advanced, but just to kind of start giving you the heads up, ask more questions when they come to you. But start with downloading those wallets and logging into a site. Young Caravaggio. So I saw his work on Instagram, which I think I showed before. So anyway, some newer works of these shoes. Back to this fashion crossover, AI fashion. And again, with these almost like Virgin Mary colors here, especially the blue cloaks. So, again, could definitely hang in the same group show as A Strange Thing, that's for sure. Buy for only 0.81 cents. Looking great, if you ask me. AI art, clearly. 404 editions. Also, just mayhem out there. So another AI artwork. Bunch of people fighting, right? It's Over the Line. Pretty big work, 4608 by 6144 by Jono Killiforce, a one of one. And this sold for $140 to Artie Hands. So Artie Hands is out there buying on Tezos. Interesting. And Shirley Preston, Twittering Machine. So capturing the Zeitgeist, an updated version of Paul Klee's masterpiece, Twittering Machine, which was painted 100 years ago. Midjourney times DALL-E times Photoshop. I thought it came out pretty nicely. these birds. So again, prompts creating interesting works. Gotta love like this stuff, like that's pretty cool. More AI work. John Cates, Mechanical Interventions, the Artificially Illustrated Glitch Western Primer for Machine Learners, buy for 2, edition of 25. I'm not sure if this is AI. I think it is. It's glitchy, that's for sure. Maybe it's AI and glitch. Yeah, AI art and glitch in combination. So again, interesting. Here's some of John Cates' other work, because I don't think we've looked at John Cates before. So just a heads up, this one turned out quite nice, didn't it? Yeah, so a book kind of has a winter, almost a Christmas feeling. So interesting. Another work on Midjourney 4 from Destiny K. I mean, I see this and it looks like a Sony ad, doesn't it? Like it looks like, or the thing you'd see as Photoshop loads up, the detail of Midjourney V4 we continue to see. So Scream by Destiny K. And Freakin' Hell, I'm not sure if this is new or not, but I just saw it on Twitter. And, some news from Freakin' Hell. He's been busy in real life. And so that is why we haven't seen as much Freakin' Hell recently. But there he is. And again, you see the solution for the face here. Okay? Because again, with AI art, the face is often we have issues with. So you see all sorts of interesting solutions. Charles AI, Desert Dinner. And so interesting. So again, playing with interiors and exteriors. That is almost Charles AI's thing, isn't it? As we look at it again, this looks like almost like an interior, but it's an exterior. And where the ceiling will be the sky. It's a pretty cool, simple juxtaposition, like a Magritte-esque juxtaposition. And Delta Sauce, who is kind of in a similar vein to Charles AI a bit. Here's just some experimentation over the weekend that posted on Twitter. Discovery OS, almost has a garden airplane traps or Varia where the foliage is growing out of the car. And here you have a kind of a different take on that, where it's almost like you look through the screen and you'll see the nature. So interesting piece. And Delta Sauce also experimenting with 8-bit. Now you might remember Delta Sauce from these works over here, all of which are sold out, as far as I understand. And now 8-bit Days, working with 8-bit AI. And you can tell because it's not like perfectly, square. So it's interesting if the AI art that's 8-bit is going to sell. Cool composition. Again, playing with that interior outdoors. Okay? A moody, matte work with the interior outdoors and playing with that juxtaposition. One more from Delta Sauce, another pixelation work. So you can see how the AI pixel art has its own style, because we see other artists working with pixel art and it looks similar in quality. It looks like it's the same artist, which brings us back to that earlier idea. Are the artists the tools of the AI? How much is the technology dictating the outcome? And I think it's actually quite significant. AI art all has its own kind of feeling, but that is a whole other debate. This was an interesting comment. Dengues, nobody cares about what brand of paint or which brushes Leonardo da Vinci used to paint the Mona Lisa, as we kind of go into our physical art area here. And people kind of commented how actually it's very important, and it is. And their point was nobody talks about the materials, they talk about the paint, but it brings up a very important issue, which is materials matter. Like if you're ever buying oil paint, for example, or acrylic paint, and you get the student version, like I watched a lecture or some sort of workshop thing like about a year ago, and they showed the test, and it's like the acrylic that was the student grade just kind of breaks down and is watery and just kind of falls apart, basically. Whereas the professional grade or the pro grade, it kind of all holds together. So just like in cooking, where ingredients, the first thing they say in cooking is get good ingredients, it's kind of the same with painting. So in fact, it's incredibly important. And so continuing on Uxine, so this is interesting. This looks like a photo of a brushstroke that's been reproduced large in blue. So very interesting. If it's something else, Uxine, let us know, but very cool. Glitch. And looks like another version maybe printed on brown paper here. So you got to love the experimentation there as we travel through the mediums here. This is a combination of oil painting and digital painting, and you got to be very tempted to do this if you're an oil painter, which is, let's say this is all oil painting and we don't know, but let's say you just want to change the background color to, play with the hue slider and change the background color and just tweak it. It's hard to see why this wouldn't happen like more and more. Like the temptation as an artist, and we've all been there who've made physical paintings, is you just put it into Photoshop and you start to fix it, right? So anyways, this is a combination piece. Buy for 15, editions of 69. And yeah, so it sold for 1 though. Looks like it's sold out. This is by Rodrigo, whose work we haven't looked at yet. So just another artist to put on the radar here. I guess this work was from a while ago. I must have found that on Twitter. This profile seeks to investigate digital painting and all its universe of possibilities and texture. Brazilian. And this was also interesting. So we've seen Uze Kopu, who was on Super Rare and posting the physical NFTs on Super Rare. So here is Uze working and quite beautiful with the pencil work, like pretty nice pencil work. But this is what I wanted to show. Do you have a website, someone asked, for selling your physical art? Uze, nope, I don't have any platform to sell my physical art on. So what I would say is, again, it's kind of back to this idea, is object, that place where you can sell physical art? You see there's a real need for it, and people are doing it on object, a few people, and there is a demand for it. Okay, as this kind of Twitter digital art scene gets more and more hip to the art scene, really, they kind of will want to buy physical work, right? So you just kind of feel like that's where things are going to go. The Kernel NFT, what a bitter day it was. Glad it's over. So again, the Zeitgeist was a little disarming, let's call it that way. I don't know if that's the right word, but it was intense on the weekend. Let's just call it that. And you see it in the art that came out. So anyways, the writer artist, Kernel puts out NFT books on object, but he makes the covers. And these covers are quite beautiful, aren't they? So it just goes to show anybody can be an artist, actually. And look at these beautiful works by Dan Control. Chair, series of paintings I did last year, oil on chipboard. I mean, this is a fantastic work of art from Dan Control, showing real range, right? And then when we see this, we go, oh, Dan Control. You see how going through having these different kind of mediums that you're working in creates a sense of range. It's like, oh, this guy's a serious dude, is the perception that creates, because it's true, right? So here are some very beautiful paintings of chairs, and you just think of Van Gogh, but they're totally their own. They're, again, just beautifully put together. And you see like working, there's underpainting and then the white kind of, it looks like oil, but letting it see through underneath. So anyways, you see the power of underpainting all under here, all the dark gray shining through. And that, my friends, is your show. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care.